Hi, I'm in the May the 15th movement in Spain, Spanish Revolution, and I would like to explain a couple of things about the movement. And I think they are actually very important, and perhaps they could be useful even outside Spain. First of all, I would like to compare the movement with this arrow. This is the first thing. And I would also like to compare this arrow and the movement with a computer program. As you all know, in computer programs, we usually use what we call plugins. Those are external applications that we use in the main program in order to improve the program. This is supposed to help the main program. The thing is that sometimes these external applications somehow jeopardize the main program. They sometimes are security problems to the main thing. Okay, so let's keep this in mind. In our debates here in Spain, sometimes we say that there are people that say that first of all the problem in Spain is the education. So the education, they say that the first thing that we have to change here in Spain is the education. But the thing is that the education is included in a system, not the system included in the education. And that means that if we change the system, later we can try to change the education also. But if we change the education, it will be more difficult to change afterwards the system. Okay, so there are people, as we say, that would like to change, first of all, the education. But here in Spain we also have people that say that the main problem we have is the way the votes are counted. And they are fighting to change the law for voting for counting the votes. And they also would like to change something related with the parties, because here in Spain the lists are closed. We don't use open lists to the parties, political parties. So there are also people that would like to change that. But and that's true. All these things are true. We also need to change the education, that's for sure. But what we are doing here, we are losing strength, and we are dividing our efforts. And this is very important, because the movement is this, and this will be our strength. This here makes us weak, and this is a problem. What is happening right now in Spain is that in this movement we have modules, what we could call modules. We have a bunch of organizations that they're supposed to be fighting for the same things. But the thing is that they have to get to an agreement to talk about these things, to talk about what they really want. How is that possible if we have the same problems? This is not working well, because we are divided, and the system wants us to be divided. This is very important. We must be here all together because that's what democracy is all about. Because we already know that we are different, but we must keep together. This is very important. Why we should do that? Well, the real problem here is that we have right now what we call a representative democracy in Spain, democracia representativa. So this means that this letter D means that we already have the power, because we are the people. This is something that our fathers and grandfathers achieved years ago, here in Spain, 3 decades ago. So what this really means is that the power is already ours. We already have the power. But every 4 years we decide this, our representatives. But actually what happened now is that these guys here are the problem. These guys, the representatives, our politicians, are the problem in our system. Because what they do is divide the population, A and B, party A, party B, or whatever you want to call it. They divide to rule all these things, to rule the country, of course. But under a democracy label. Why is this the problem? Because, as you know, we have our system, and in this system we have representative democracy. What happened here is, right now, is that we are having attacks from outside. Economic attacks, big corporations and interests outside our countries. And the thing is that these guys here are the reason that this public infrastructure that is our shell, this is our protection, our public infrastructures that we already have, they jeopardize this. And this is a problem. This is the reason why these attacks work. This is very important. This is very important. So, the real thing here is that perhaps we should start a new change. We have to get rid of the politicians and start, design, invent. We don't have to invent because it is already invented, but we have to use the democracy where people participate. So we have to change to a DP, democracy where people participate. That's for sure. This is very difficult, but we have the power. So we should decide whether we use these guys or not. The thing is that 30 years ago, it was very, very, very difficult to introduce this here. This is very difficult. But now, this was very difficult, but not right now. We have enough technology to do this. Now we can participate. We actually can. So the movement should be together, keep together. And the debate is that we have democracy. The power is already ours. We already know that. Okay, so we should decide whether we use this kind of democracy or this kind of democracy. This is a real debate. This is the real thing. And we shouldn't be divided, because these will be very, very, very bad for us. These guys are trying to achieve agreements about this, But the real thing is that we must keep together inside this arrow. And this arrow is pointed to a place. Where? Right here. Right here. We have to change the system because now is the moment. So this is the debate. This is the real thing. And what we have to do is to, the movement, the May the 15 movement, what we have to do is to introduce this debate in the society. This is our work. This is what we really have to do. So we must decide if we want this kind of democracy, representative democracy that we already know and we already have, and we know that we have problems, and all the problems are caused by these guys here. Not everyone is bad, but they really cause every single problem here in our country. So this is the debate, and this is our job. What we have to do is decide and transmit to the population that there is another option. We can change our democracy. We can think about, participate in our reality, in our system. We can do that. And we have enough technology to do that right now. It was impossible 30 years ago, but right now we can do it. That's a reality. So we must do this. We have to transmit to the population. It doesn't matter if you belong to the right wing or left wing, whatever. We all have the same problems. We have these guys. And the thing is that if we change our democracy to a democracy where people participate with technology or whatever you want, the people will be more informed. Or we should work on that. And the thing is that if we are being attacked, we will increase our protection here, because these guys outside use the representatives to attack our countries, the corporations and whatever. But if they want to attack our system, this is our protection. This is the deal. They would have to use us, and that's, of course, very, very, very difficult. And the thing is that some people want to attack the banks. Okay, but they are private, and we have power here in the public system. Because it's ours, because we already have a democracy. And that's what we have to work, and we have to realize that we already have the power. We already have the power. And what we have to do is to think whether we want to use the representative democracy or we would like to change it, and we would like to transform what we already know right now as politicians into just workers doing what people in democracy where people participate say. This is very important. Of course, and this is the last thing I would like to say, we already have experience in the representative democracy, but it would be something very new. This new democracy would be very new. So perhaps at the beginning it would be a little difficult, but well, I think we can do it. This is very important, and I would like to share this with the internet, and perhaps this information could be useful outside Spain. That's the reason why we're doing this in English. So, thank you very much, and good luck.